Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video, we're going to be discussing some predictions that games industry analysts are making in regards to the sales figures of Nintendo's Wii U. Wedbush Morgans and Ida believe that the Nintendo console is only going to just about manage to outsell the Vita, PSP and PlayStation 2 in March of this year. Furthermore, they believe that the sales are going to continue to drop. I'm going to read you guys an exact quote. We expect hardware sales of 55,000 for Wii U units in its fifth month. That's down 17% over the previous month. Last month, the only key hardware device to underperform our expectations was the Wii U, and its fortunes appear unlikely to improve for several months, even if Nintendo's decide to drop the price, as there are insufficient number of core titles that are generating interest in the console. We think the core games are much more likely to turn their attention to the PS4 due to the holiday season and the next Xbox, which we believe is unveiled before E3, and have a launch alongside that of the PS4, and believe that the long-term appeal of the Wii U will be severely limited by the perception that the Wii U and next generation Xbox are much more powerful with greater online integration and multimedia functionality. Should the new consoles from Sony and Microsoft be price competitive, we think that the Wii U sales may continue to stagnate. End quote. Now, it's not really a surprise from my perspective. I have to admit, I do really like Nintendo's games, but as I've mentioned in a couple of videos, I've actually done a few videos on Nintendo's future as well as the Wii U, and my concerns haven't really changed. So if you guys are curious over my thoughts as a whole, you can go ahead and check those videos out. But I think the problem is that I've been speaking to Spoony Kipper about this, as he actually owns a Wii U, I don't. But I really wanted to get one, as I told you in another video, but the thing is, I just don't really see the games available that I really want for the hardware. And I think this is similar to a few people I know actually who've been looking at one. Quite a few people I know who have been interested in the system, and then, you know, we expected a major Zelda title to be incredible, or sort of a Mario or something, but at the moment there's just not really that much. And okay, there are some good games on the horizon, and certainly some titles, for example, Zombie U seem to be pretty good, but I can't really feel myself excited about a lot of the titles on the Wii U. If I'm honest, it's not really helping. In fact, it's being further exacerbated by the fact that certain titles, for example, Aliens Colonial Marines, not that really the Wii U is missing much by them not making the title on the system eventually, but still, when you have that news consistently for various developers saying that, you know what, it's not really our focus, and Electronic Arts and a few other games companies have actually said the same thing. And of course, we know that the new Unreal tech is definitely not going to work on the Wii U. It just doesn't have the processing power. And so when gamers are hearing that news consistently, it is going to start affecting sales figures. So it would be very interesting to see how Nintendo themselves are going to be dealing with this. Obviously, they've also made a series of comments. Miyamoto himself, I believe it was, actually mentioned that, well, one of the reasons they haven't really focused online is they didn't really believe that enough people had the online, capacity, or weren't interested in that. That just to me feels somewhat ludicrous. And to be honest with you, I really want to see Nintendo pull their finger out. I believe that would be the best phrase for this, because honestly speaking, I think certain games would be absolutely incredible if they really did try to push it. Right now, I think I'd agree with the industry analysts in one respect. Right now, everyone is focused on the PlayStation and Xbox brands. Not only because we don't know what they're actually really going to be, doing, as in we don't really know what the launch titles. Sure, we've got a couple of ideas, but we don't know all of them. But there's something even more profound than that, something very simple, and that's the consoles are more powerful. And we know the Wii U is a little bit faster than current generation consoles, a la the Xbox 360 or whatever, but honestly speaking, it's not that much more. And I think we're really getting to the point now where we really want to move past this current generation. And so, while Nintendo's own games can start shining, I have a feeling that they're going to have some problems maybe luring in certain third-party developers. It's very hard to say, of course. I certainly can't predict the future, and who knows, if there are a couple of killer apps on the Wii U, it only needs a couple of really good titles to start saving any system's future. Right now, however, if I were Nintendo, I wouldn't be surprised if I'd be starting to look into the next generation of systems. And it's very hard to tell, of course, whether they have made any major mistakes here or not. Nintendo, generally speaking, do pretty damn well in the console wars. We know, of course, the original Wii sold very well, although it did have a series of negative reactions in terms of the games later on. There was certainly less games sold per unit than, say, the Xbox 360. But generally speaking, the actual hardware sold well, and even the GameCube, which obviously couldn't compete with, say, the PS2, did pretty well. So if this is actually a flop, it would be the first commercial, real bad kind of launch of any console that Nintendo have really had, at least to my knowledge. Anyway, we'll have to see just what Nintendo pulls out. But if these industry figures prove to be true, and there's no proof, of course, either way yet, but they certainly wouldn't surprise me if they are, then, well, we could well have ourselves a very, very strange situation indeed, with Nintendo being heavily on the defensive. Anyway, I think that's about it for this particular video, so hopefully you've enjoyed it, and maybe give it some food for thought. As usual, leave some comments below, and I will see you soon. Take care, and bye for now.